Hello, welcome back to my channel, Callie's Kingdom, and today is an exciting video because I am going to show you all of the books in this book haul that I got for under $15, and there's a good selection of them. Normally, around like $12, I'd say, you'd get one book, so to get 7 books for like a little bit over that is amazing. Now, I didn't actually spend $15, I actually only spent $13, so that is such a good deal. And there's a couple hardcovers in here. So let's get started. The first one I got from one of those little free libraries. I was actually going geocaching with my friend. We both love to geocache. So we were going geocaching, which is basically like you're looking in nature for this little box that has like a little log that you sign and you can trade little items. It's like a whole app. It's a whole different thing and I love it because it feels like I'm part of like a treasure hunt looking for something. So we went to this really nice park. We didn't end up finding the geocache, but I think I almost squealed when I saw that there was a little free library there, and I picked up Mortal Music. I've never heard of this book before, but it was in such good condition, and apparently it's a historical fiction mystery. I don't know much else about it. I know there's something to do with music, a bird dies, and then someone actually dies, and I think it's part of a series, yeah, a Silver Rush mystery, but they can be read out of order from what I saw online, so yeah, I'm excited to read this sometime, and it was free, and it is in such good condition. But also, I want to say that I got this little thing, where is it? Oh, where I can basically emboss my books with my own, like, name and everything, so it says, like, Callie's Library, which is really cool. So for the ones that I haven't done that yet, I will be doing that in this video. So basically I just slide it in here and then I push down. So this one I already did. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in the corner there. And it's really cool. It just like crimps the pages or the paper to do that. So this one I already have, but have that done in, which is really cool. Then with my library's Friends of the Library like bookstore, they partnered with a nearby church to like get a bunch of donations and then set up like a whole book thing in like this big kind of like, I guess kind of theater room, but not, there was like a little stage, but then it was big empty, kind of like one of those cafetoriums that you'd have in an elementary school, if you know what I mean. And there were so many books. A lot of them are like those old books that like were from like a whole long while ago, like the little like mass market not hardcovers, paperbacks, and then there were a lot of like older books like that, but I dug through the piles and I found some good ones. Their young adult section was very small, so I don't think any of these came from there because they all didn't look entirely like something that I'd want, or they were like actually middle grade put in their young adult section. Like they had this book called The Unwanteds that I read when I was younger and I really liked, but it was middle grade. So, first when I was going through, actually I don't remember what I saw first, but I will show these in order of like, I know which ones I found last, and then I'll show the other ones in order from price. So first I found Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and it's a thriller. All I know is that this woman's like daughter disappeared years ago, and then she meets this guy, and he has a daughter that looks exactly like her daughter. So it sounded very intriguing, and it was only $2, so of course I had to get it. That's how I justify buying more books. I'm like, it's cheap. So there we go, and I just put the little thing on here. So now it is officially part of my library, which I must say that so many of these books, like I have so many books that I am running out of space on my shelves. Like literally, I don't know where else to put them, what to do. I could do another second layer like I did down here with some of my middle grades, but that's because I don't need to get to them. So anyway, the next book I got for $3, and it's called The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare. It is also in pretty good condition, although there's a little bit of a bent corner there, but for $3, pretty good. And this book was basically, I think it's another kind of like historical fiction-ish book where there's like, it has to do with the Roanoke colony that like went missing, and there was some like secret book that was passed down generation to generation, and then I think this woman and her daughter go to like some house that was in their inheritance. I don't know entirely, but it sounded intriguing, and for $3 it was good. So now it's part of my library. Next, I got the last thing he told me, which I think actually became a show or something. The woman who was checking me out was like, I loved that book. It was so good. So hopefully it's actually good. And there's a little sticker on here, but for $3 for a hardcover, I don't care as much about that as I would if I was buying it new. And there's also nothing on the front, as we know that I do not like that there's nothing on the front. And there's some weird little bind thing. I don't know. But for $3, I am very happy with this purchase. And I think it's like some man goes missing and then he tells this woman, like, protect her or something about his daughter. And, like, but she's her stepmom. I don't know. But we'll see if it's good. Because, again, it was only $3. That's what I love about buying all these books for so cheap. Like, if I don't like it, then whatever. It was only $3. And then I can give it to a little free library where someone else can go and get it. So those... Oh, there's one more. And I love this cover so much. Like, I think it's also a historical fiction fantasy. There's so many, like, historical fiction things in here. Well, not so many. I think, like, 3. But I'm not normally one for historical fiction, but I read a historical fiction horror and rated it 5 stars, so who knows. And apparently my roommate at college loves historical fiction, so maybe I can join her on that train. But look at this cover. It's so pretty. I've seen this book before in Barnes & Noble, I think. It's called The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill. I think it's about 2 girls who are, like, sisters, and one has to make a deal with, like, the Fae or something. I don't know. It's some historical fiction, like, fantasy. But it is such a pretty cover that I could not refuse. And it was only $3. I have to add that in for, like, every book to make sure you know what good of a deal I got on all of these, so I can justify spending money. And at that point, I thought that I found all the books that, like, I looked through them all, and then I was walking back up to the front to check out with these 4, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw something amazing. Well, it depends on what you feel about these series, but Insurgent and Allegiant, the second and third books in the Divergent trilogy, in hardcover, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how much are these if they're only $3? I already read these books, but I only have the first book, and these were so, like, they're so pretty, and it looks pretty under the cover. Like, that's stunning. So I was like, oh, if they're like $3 or something, like, I'm going to get it. And I looked inside. Oh wow, even that part's cool. And look at that too. But basically all their prices are written inside the covers. So I look inside, and that says $1, and I'm like, no way, $1 for these? I was like, I have to get them. Even though I have the actual Divergent in paperback, and it's a little bit bent, but my friend gave this to me, so I also got this for free. So really, I got the whole Divergent trilogy for $2. Are you kidding me? I'm so glad to have these as part of my collection. I enjoyed this series. I think it was more like a 4. I think the first book was like 4.5 stars, and then the other books were like 4.5 stars. So it's probably like a 4.25 series for me. I don't love it as much as my best friend does, but I did really enjoy the series, so I'm really glad to have all of the copies of these books. And I was not expecting to have such an amazing find at this library sale. So yeah, if you don't have a lot of money but you want to own your own books, there are definitely ways to do that, and you can work around it. So I think you should try to find little libraries. You don't always achieve success, but I have found now 3 books that I got at the little libraries. And then you should also look for library sales. There's like, I think there's Friends of the Library book sales, or like there's Friends of the Library book somethings in a couple of their libraries too, so you might want to check and see if that's something that your library does. And you should also check for like used bookstores, because I got a whole lot of books when I was younger at like half price books. Sadly, we don't have one around me, but we do have these Friends of the Library book sales. And they have the store of the Friends of the Library bookstore like open a lot, but they don't normally have as many books as they do at like the lawn sales or like these book events. They normally get a whole lot more donations for these. So I check in before on other ones, but I don't normally find as much as I do at these like lawn sales or porch sales or these church like sales, you know what I mean? So I feel like you too can probably have a good book haul for under $15 like me. But I am so happy with all my finds, and I can't wait to read some of these books. But thank you for watching this video. I know it was kind of a shorter one, and I know that I already had a book haul literally last week, but I'm just so lucky to have all these books, even though I am running out of space on my bookshelf. But soon I'll be going off to college, so I'll have to take some books off there anyways, which might be one of my next video or two, the books I'm bringing to college. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye!